Welcome to Shakti's Gift, a podcast about creating a unique way of living. I'm your host, Marigold Era, Ayurvedic wellness coach, unschooling mother, and creative force. I think that life is a tapestry of all our stories, the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly, and everything in between. So in this podcast, I want to invite you to unleash your creativity and unveil yourself, your true self, so that we make this world a better place to live in. So grab yourself something to drink, get yourself comfortable, and let's dive deep into what the hell does it mean to be a human in this modern age and time. Hello, my beautiful beings. Welcome to Shakti's Gift. This week, I wanted to do a more personal episode. I just started a new free training online. You know, those little event that you find probably in your publicity on Instagram or Facebook. And I felt really called to this one. I think it's called biohacking, something. I'm not quite sure. It doesn't really matter. I'm not advertising for it. I just wanted to give you a few insights that I had today on our first day of this little event, 5-day event. So the subject today was how everything starts with our hearts. You know, it's like sometimes you know some things, it's true. And even though you know it in your heart, you don't necessarily embody that. And when I started the podcast, when it was called Let's Create the Revolution Together, I had this movement that was created in my heart, and it was so strong and so potent, and I felt like a lot of people were resonating with that passion, that heart energy that I had um towards this podcast. And although I still have it somewhere in my head, in my even in my heart, but I'm not like moving forward with my heart, I feel like. And that was my realization today, that I needed to reconnect with my heart. And since I transformed the podcast into this purple branding, I've made so many realization about the podcast. First of all, I really, really love it. Some of you may know I studied in journalism, and I have like a really big creative background where I studied in cinema and artistry and photography, and there was like always this creativity that was fueling my days. And when I started the podcast, that creativity came rushing back actually. And I discovered digital art with the platform Canva, and I just really enjoyed doing those little posts on Instagram and on Facebook, which I've never been on before doing this podcast. I was in a social media girl. And now we're like a year later, or a little bit over a year later, and I do see the value in Instagram and all the social media. And I've met so many amazing people in this journey, and I cannot wait to see where it leads me, because I don't intend to stopping this podcast for sure. Even though it had like bumps in the road, I feel like this is just the journey. It is what it is. I mean, whatever you're starting, it sometimes you fall, and it doesn't matter how many times you fall. What it's actually important, it's how many times you come back up. And so yeah, so I've realized that I fell a few times, and I had trouble getting back up with that energy, that the beginning, the energy that I had at the beginning, that very exciting, joyful energy. Even though I still have it inside of me, and even though I really, really, really love doing this podcast, I know that my energy is not the same. So I'm working on it. You know, it's all a work in progress. And one of the things that were said in this event today that light something in me is to realize how much time I am wasting, and I'm putting it out there for you guys to actually reflect on that as well. How much time do you spend? How much time do you waste on telling yourself that you're not good enough, or that you cannot move forward with something because it's not perfect, or how many times you're telling yourself that you're an imposter, or that you go on social media to compare yourself to other people, or how many times in your day or in your week you're spending gossiping or putting a mask on to fit in. It's all those little moments that seems like nothing sometimes. Like, I don't think we actually spend the whole day you know wasting our time, but there are like those little moments that we can use to do something else. And I'm talking to myself as well right now, that I can use to do something else, whether it's breathing or just going outside, or whatever, drink water, just talk with someone you like, or draw something, or create something new. And just to start catching those moments where you're wasting your time, and to try and transform them just a little bit, just step by step. You change one thing, and then you change another thing, and it just like it keeps on evolving. And sometimes we lose track of that because we get so busy. And I think it kind of did that with my podcast, because it's a lot of work, you guys. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Like, it's a lot of work to record, to take interviews, to prepare those interviews, to edit all the things. It's a lot of work, and it's work that I do love. And also, it can get busy. And the thing is, when we get busy and we tend to do, and then we just lose touch with what really matter, which is our heart, which is like this central chakra that is like leading everything. We gotta move forward with our heart, and it's so easy to lead forward with our head. It's like kind of like a reflex. It's like kind of, you go for it with your head, you think about it, you or sometimes you overthink about it. But it's easier, I think, to stay in our head, and not to just go down and lead with our heart and listen to our bodies. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to keep you guys updated on what's going on, and be true with you, and to tell you my work in progress. And I'm working on reconnecting with my heart right now, and I think it's worth sharing. It's all about creating new opportunities to evolve always, to always step into a better version of ourselves. And sometimes we just plateaued. You're like, you hit like a ceiling, and you're just like there, and you just keep on moving into that ceiling, facing the ceiling, and you're just like moving. And then you got to realize that you got to push forward, and like just like destroy that ceiling, and move at the other level. And so that's where I'm at. And the other level for me is to reconnect with my heart. So, you guys, what is your next level? Do you resonate with that? Like, do you lead with your heart, or do you get so busy that you forget to breathe, or to just like, do the things that actually fuels you instead of putting you down? So yeah, so I want to know. Tell me in the comments. Yeah, I would love to read you. I would love it. Yeah, so I hope you have an amazing day, and I wish you all the best for sure. And keep on creating, you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Ciao.